Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is all about intention, and the message that I really want to get into your minds today is to not expect greatness without intention. And this is a really, it seems like a simple concept and idea that we all can think about, but ultimately so many of us expect greatness. We expect, to be living an outstanding, extraordinary quality of life from a place of real excellence without being intentional. And we are kind of mindless around this concept, and we can oftentimes just, get caught up in the everyday aspects of life, living on this surface level existence, and we can forget that we actually have to get intentional if we want to actually experience greatness in our lives. And I really want to ask you guys today, are you really happy with the current results that you have in your life? Are you really happy with your friendships? Are you really happy with the quality of your intimate relationship? Are you really happy with the quality of the work that you're doing and contributing to the world? Are you really happy with your financial results at this stage in your life as well? And if you answer no to any or all of those questions, then ultimately where you're lacking is in your intentionality. And that is really what I'm hoping to get into your minds today, is how can we use the power of intention to create an extraordinary quality of life, to access true greatness, and to stop living in a mediocre existence and actually step forth and create an extraordinary, outstanding quality of life from a place of real excellence in how we show up. And just yesterday, a friend of mine, I went to the gym, and they, after the gym session, I asked them, I said, how was your gym session? And they said, it wasn't my best. I didn't bring my A game. And I instantly was thinking about how often in every area of our lives, we're just kind of going through the motions. We're not bringing our A game. And ultimately, how we play life anywhere is how we play life everywhere. So if you're not bringing your A game in your relationships, you're not really bringing your A game in your work. If you're not bringing your A game in the lifestyle that you have to live, then ultimately you're not bringing your A game in terms of your financial, your financial results either. So we have to get it in our minds that we need to shift away from living life by default and expecting to get extraordinary quality of results without any intention. And we have to start living life by design and bringing conscious awareness to everything that we do in our lives if we really want to experience greatness. And I want to ask you guys, if this is where you're currently focused and you answered those questions in terms of, I'm not really happy with my results in life, in whatever area you're kind of fixated on at the moment. But ultimately, if you're not happy with one area, it's probably pretty likely that you're not happy with multiple areas of your life. And the real reason is because we're not getting intentional, because happiness comes from progress, and progress can only come from having a determined intention about where we want to get to, what that looks like. And if we can't have that sense of progress, then we're not going to be happy with the results in any area. But even if we are not quite at the result that we're looking to achieve in any of those areas, but we've gained intention so that we can gain a sense of progress, we can be happy right here, right now, without ultimately getting to that end result just yet. So that's really what I want to help get you guys to. So I want to ask you, what does greatness look like to you? And, start with one of those areas. So, get clear on what does greatness look like to you in terms of the lifestyle that you'd be living. What does it look like? You've got to paint the picture. You've got to be able to understand what the ultimate looks like in each of those areas. What does it look like to have, greatness in your relationship? What does it look like to have greatness in your finances, in the the work that you do. And like I said, in the lifestyle that you want to create, you have to identify where it is that you want to get to before you're ever going to be able to get really intentional, because you got to know where you want to get to on the map in order to start moving in that direction. Otherwise, even if you get to a place of experiencing something better, you're not really going to know, because you don't know where you are. You don't have any conscious awareness around what you're striving for, what greatness looks like to you. And then ultimately, once you've identified where it is that you want to get to, the second step is that you really need to know and be totally, brutally honest with yourself about exactly where you are right here, right now. No sugarcoating, and also no seeing things worse than they are. Because when we see things worse than they are, we're not motivated to take action. It depletes our energy resources. And the same thing goes when we sugarcoat things. When we sugarcoat things and see them way better than they are right here, right now, and live in this kind of fantasy, and we're not completely honest with ourselves, we so too don't move forward from that perspective either. So we need to know exactly, realistically, where we are right here, right now on the map, no sugarcoating and no seeing things worse than they are. And then ultimately, then we've got a starting point where we are right now, and we've got that end point, that ideal for that greatness in our lives. And then what we need to do in order to close the gap, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We need to identify who is it out there that has this set of results that I'm looking to achieve in my lifestyle, in my relationships, in my work, in my finances, wherever it is, and model them, model them in order to close the gap between where you realistically are right here, right now, and where you really want to get to, what greatness looks like to you. And before you get those markers, you can't close the gap on anywhere. So this is how we get intentional. We get clear on where it is that we're inspired to be in our lives. And then we get really honest and realistic about where we currently are. And then we find somebody in the world who is already experiencing that set of results that we're after, and we model them so that we can close the gap. And that is being intentional. That is creating a life lived to your limitless potential. That is a life where we can really tap into everything that we have access to in our own personal growth, and living a life of inspiration, not desperation, not surface level existence where we have no meaning, no real fulfillment, and we're just kind of going through the motions of everyday life, which is not what you were born to do. It's not why you're here. You've got to get intentional. But so many people, they get caught up on thinking that being intentional is hard work. Oh, that sounds like such hard work to try and identify in every area of my life what greatness looks like to me, and then to try and be honest with myself about where I'm really at, and then try and find somebody who's already getting those results and figure out how to model them. Well, that sounds like hard work, but you know what's much harder work? Living a life with no meaning, no direction, and no purpose. Not tapping into and getting attached to what truly motivates and inspires you at your core. That's much harder work, living that life. So get out of the fantasy that setting an intention and living an intentional life is hard work, because it's so much more hard work when you don't get clarity and you live without meaning, purpose, and direction. So I'm really hoping that this message today is inspiring you guys to get out of your own way, get outside of the limitations of your own mind, and start tapping into that level of inspiration that is calling out to you. It is that voice that says, is this it? Like, come on. You've got more life to live. You've got more to experience. Give. Really tap into and feel, and life outside of intention is just a life lived by default, and it is one that is like free from meaning. It's got no real meaning. It's got no real purpose. It's got no real direction or clarity. It's living on a whim, and it's tiring, and it's really hard work, and it burns us out, and it takes us away from experiencing the true, non-limit of our potential. So I'm really hoping that this is inspiring to you guys. Let me know in the comments, have you got something that you're working towards right now? Are you planning on getting more intentional about the results that you want to experience in your life? I'd love to hear from you, and if you have absolutely any questions whatsoever, make sure that you are dropping them in the comments below so I can engage with you guys as always. And if you haven't already, I don't know where you've been, but you've got to come on over and join the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community, where all of us in that group, we are supporting, challenging, and encouraging each other to step into that next layer of our limitless potential, get out of our own ways, and stop living a mediocre life and start reaching for something truly extraordinary, outstanding, and coming from a place of true personal excellence. So if that inspires you and you'd love to be a part of a community of like minds like that, then make sure that you click on the link and come on over and join us all. We're waiting for you. And if you would like any personal guidance, you guys know that I love getting to meet you as an individual, get on a video call with you, see where you're at, see what you're currently struggling with, and see how I can best support you to break through whatever limitations you currently have going on that may be a massive blind spot for you right now. I love getting to help you break through, so make sure you take full advantage of that as well. Those free power sessions that I offer, I'd love to get to meet and connect with you. All right, I want to jump in and see how you guys are going today. I've got Hassani and Frank and Humayan and Rayul and Gabrielle and Johan and Melissa and Matthew and Jean and Thiago and Jeremy and Dennis and Bassam and Dominigo and Eniko and Jens and Mark and Raphael and Scott's here and Leroy and Aaron and Michael and Marlon and Mahindapal and Stephen. Awesome, guys. It is so awesome to have you all join me today. Nobody's asking me any questions today. This is really weird and random, but I love having each and every one of you guys here, and I'm hoping that today's message is reiterating to you the power of getting intentional and to not expect greatness when we aren't getting intentional about how we want to live our lives, and also, understanding what greatness really looks like to us as an individual so that we can know where it is that we want to get to on that map, and we can get realistic about pinpointing exactly where we are so that we can ultimately close the gap between here and where we really want to get to so that we can live to our highest potential and stop limiting ourselves. So guys, that really is my message for you guys today. I hope it's inspired you. I hope that you've gained some value from today's message. And so remember, start living life by design, not by default. And get out of your own way. Start living into your greatness and stop limiting yourselves. And I am sending you so much love, energy, enthusiasm, greatness, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, any of it, make sure that you drop your comments below. I love engaging with you, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Sending you all of my love, and I will see you guys then.